Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Bytes, where we discuss all things crypto, DeFi, airdrops, and more. My name is Brian, and it's been a couple weeks since my last update. I was out of town for a bit, and as you probably know, during that time, the markets just have been going crazy. It seems like every single time that I go away, something crazy happens. Last summer, went away on like a 2-week trip, and that was during August when the markets dumped massively. This time went away, but thankfully the markets went up. So I wasn't here to necessarily capture the meat of the move as far as moving around the portfolio to best allocate during the pumps, but portfolio is definitely up since the last time we spoke. And so today I wanted to go over where the 10K to 50K challenge is at, and give you some updates on how I've kind of moved some things around to kind of go with what the state of the market is right now, where it looks like we're going to be pretty bullish for at least the next couple of months, hopefully. So I'm positioning accordingly and being a little bit more aggressive. So with that said, let's jump into the numbers, and then I'll show you kind of where the major moves I've made of the portfolio since the last time we talked. So let's see. So I've only updated the portfolio a couple times since we first started on July 1st. And you can see here that as of today, which is July 21st, we are up about 40% since start of the challenge, which was July 1st. So definitely a nice bump there. Let's go through where those main things have come from. So this first section here, stable coins, these are only earning about 10 to 20% APYs, so nothing major has happened here. I've just kept the money here. I likely will be pulling some of this out to get a little bit more aggressive over the next couple of weeks. Just waiting to see like where we end up at the end of July, to make sure that we don't have some kind of dump first. What I'm seeing these stables as right now is while getting this airdrop will be nice, I think if we get any kind of maybe 10% dip on BTC, which would be probably 20% on alts, this money is going to be better put to work, basically buying those things on the dip as opposed to just being in these stables to get the airdrop. So that change may be happening soon, but for now we've just kept the funds here in these stables. In the SUI ecosystem, more or less everything is kept the same. The only thing that has changed is I just learned in the last week about a new application that is running a points program, and that application is called Full Sail. Let me show you what that looks like. It's just a Full Sail is just a kind of regular DEX. There's just like Momentum, Magma, Steam, and I think those are the main ones that we're using on SUI right now. Basically what you can do here, you can see the TVL is quite low so far, only about $500,000. They are running they don't have a points program, but what they have is this kind of testing prediction market that they're doing, and I believe they're only having 4 epochs, and we are about to start the third one. Let's check. I believe we're starting the third one this week, so there's only going to be about 1 week left, and I just joined in the middle of the current epoch. I'm a little bit late here, but if you're interested in getting involved here, I think you'd want to get involved this week ASAP, so that you can at least get into one of these epochs. I'm not sure why it's not loading, but let's go ahead and go back to here. I'll just give you a summary of that in a second. So basically what you want to do here is just deposit into one of these liquidity pools. I am currently going in the highest APY pool, which is the SUI USDC pool. Man, my internet's kind of slow. There we go. Okay, so which is, it says here it's paying 78%. It's actually a little bit higher because this is concentrated liquidity, and I have a pretty tight range. So I'm actually earning a couple hundred APY here, but you do what you think is best for yourself. And so basically what you're doing is you're earning, the fees just like you normally would on any of these dexes. In addition to that, you're earning what they call this VE sale test, which, ultimately is going to be sale, which is going to be their token. And so what you do is, as you earn that, you go to this VE sale test, and let's see if the page will load again. I'll try it one more time. Basically, you want to deposit and lock that VE sale test on this page. Okay, there it loads. So yeah, basically what you want to do is you come here and go ahead and deposit any sale that you're earning from your LPing on this page. That's going to give you voting power. And then what you'll do is come over to this predict tab. And okay, yeah, here you can see that the second epoch's going to end in a day. Then the third one happens, and then I think there's only one more after that. I'm sure they'll have more after that too, but it seems like, as far as the airdrop goes, you might get a multiplier, or maybe they'll only consider the people that are in these first 4 epochs. So if you're interested, I'd say, get on this ASAP. But basically what you're going to do then is you take your voting power, and then you'll see all these different LP pools that they have, and you do 2 things. One, you allocate a percentage of your voting power up to 100%. So you can do multiple ones if you want, like 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%, or just 100% on one. And then what you want to do is you want to vote for what you predict the volume is going to be for this pool at the end of the epoch. So, with 1 day, 23 hours left, I'll just wait until we have a couple hours left. So we're as close as possible to what the volume is going to be. And then I'll put that in here. And then apparently with whatever point system that they have, you're going to get more points based off of how close you were to the actual volume amount. And then there's like a multiplier based on, what voting power you used for this prediction. So a little bit different. I haven't seen any other application do this before, but yeah, it's pretty much you deposit liquidity, lock your sale that you're getting as a bonus, and then do these predictions once an epoch, and then that's going to give you some points that'll go to like a future airdrop. So decent APYs on the front end. So I just have a little bit in here to play around for now, but I think it's a good opportunity since it's pretty new here and not a lot of people know about this. Okay, so that was pretty much the only change in the SUI ecosystem stuff. We're up a little bit across the board here, but I've kind of rearranged, based off of the earnings that we've had, I've basically taken a little bit from some of these, and then that's what I used for the deposit into this new application. So yeah, that's that. One big change, which I think I'm going to make a separate video on, is excuse me, I've definitely increased the amount that I've been trading on perps. And so while this does say BTC, I've expanded what I am trading now. Oh, sorry. So yeah, we'll go into a separate video exactly what my strategy is here, but long story short, since I do see that the market's going to be, I believe that the market's going to continue going up for the foreseeable short-term future, and so I'm positioning accordingly in perps, and yeah, so I've taken some funds out of other places and added them as deposits here, and then simultaneously all these different perp exchanges that I'm using, they have their own airdrops that are running too. So yeah, we're basically farming more airdrops, and then the plan is to earn more from trading as the market goes up. So I'll do another video on this specifically this week. Okay, next is the Ether category. So Kaito, haven't done anything here, just maintained my 500 staked Kaito here, and the token's been going up, so it's appreciated a little bit. I took out all the funds from Bulla. They were doing very well, but I thought that they'd be better served in perps, and I also put them into Sonic and some Hyperliquid stuff. So I took that out of here, and then with Arcadia Finance, hopefully if you got involved with this from what I talked about in my previous videos, that you weren't affected, but they did have about 10% of their funds hacked over the last couple of weeks. It was one particular part of the platform, so not the whole entire platform was affected. I was slightly affected, maybe about 15% of what I had on there was involved in that. Thankfully, it seems like they're going to not recover the funds from the hacker, but they have insurance and other funds in their DAO that they're gonna most likely use to compensate anyone that lost anything. So I'm pretty confident that anything that I lost here, I'll recover. So hopefully, if you were involved, you're aware. I've mainly just been following their Discord for updates, and we're just kind of waiting now on what the compensation plan is going to be. I still have my hopes pretty high for Arcadia. I was making good money there before this thing happened, so likely I'll put some funds back in there once they kind of resolve all of this. But for now, I took everything else out that I had there and moved it elsewhere. So with the perps, I'm mainly getting my ETH exposure that way now instead of these different LPs on Bulla and Arcadia. So like I said, then moving on to Sonic, I took some of the ETH funds that I had out of here and I moved it into Sonic. Also, the price of Sonic has gone up about 30% since we last talked. So that's been real nice. And yeah, so I've increased what I'm earning on Shadow. And yeah, for me, I pretty much these are the main pools that I'm depositing in now. So it's either the Sonic USDC, the Sonic BTC, or the Sonic ETH. And then as you're earning, see how awesome these APYs are. I do have a pretty tight range. You can see here, like only plus or minus 1.5%, 1.25%, 1.5%. So I am checking these and having to rebalance multiple times throughout the day typically. But the amount of rewards that you're earning far outweigh any impermanent loss that you're having. So, it's definitely working out well for me. And then basically, when you get these rewards, you're earning it into this X33, which is Shadow's own token. And so I'm taking those rewards and then I'm putting it into this USDC X33 pool, and that earns about 600% too. So yeah, that's pretty much how my play is on Sonic right now. They have their airdrop for season 1 coming out this week, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully you're going to get an allocation too. You can see so far I'm ranked decently in season 2, just under 500 ranks. So based on how well the season 1 airdrop goes, will determine how much more I put into here as of now. But yeah, for now I moved extra funds into Sonic because I think the token price is going to go up. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement, especially after this season 1 airdrop happens this week. So that's what I'm doing there. And then Hyperliquid, putting more into there. So what I've done is a couple of things. I guess the first thing is, so you can see here how HyperSwap and Hybra have 0 in there now. What's happened is that there's a new protocol called Hyperbloom, and basically what they have their own points program, so you're earning points with them as well, and they have these vaults where they basically auto rebalance and auto compound automatically for you. Well, that's why it's called auto. Yeah, so they do that automatically for you, and they have these vaults with Kitten Swap, HyperSwap, Hybra, and Project X. And so what I've done is I basically picked the highest APY vaults for HyperSwap, Hybra, and Project X. Not touching Kitten Swap for now because they've already had their airdrop, so I'm more focused on these 3. And so yeah, I've deposited into the highest APY ones for those, and by doing that, you can see here, the APYs are, this one's dropped significantly, so I might have to get out of that, but you can see all of these are about 500% APYs, so you're getting decent upfront yields, and then on top of that, I'm earning hybrid points, PRJX for Project X points, and then HyperSwap points, and then I'm also earning HyperBloom points at the same time. So yeah, that's why I like this play, and I just basically took my funds out of the Hybra and HyperSwap directly so I could get for the 2-for-1 here. I do think that if I would have just maintained my deposit on Hybra and HyperSwap and Project X by themselves, I might be making more because they have the concentrated liquidity, and like I showed you on Shadow, I like to keep a very tight range to maximize fees. So I think what I'm going to do is, like, once I get, I'm currently like in the top 50 on HyperBloom right now, so maybe after the end of July, when I feel like pretty solid about my ranking here, I'll take some of this out and go back into Hybra, Project X, and HyperSwap, so I can maximize my upfront APYs. And yeah, obviously I'm farming those airdrops, but I'm maxing what I have here so I can take it out later to maximize my upfront yield, if that makes sense. Hopefully the market just pumps and we make enough that I can just leave this here and then put more into these own projects themselves that way too. So we'll see what the market gives us over the next week. But yeah, that's nice with HyperBloom, is that you can get pretty good APYs, and it's just a set it and forget it type of a situation, because they do the auto rebalance and auto compounding for you, and you get the 2-in-1 airdrop. So that's a cool opportunity. Gliquid is the other project that doesn't have a vault on HyperBloom yet, but I've been kind of increasing my deposits here, and I don't know why I didn't do it before, but I guess I needed the market to kind of heat up for me to feel more confident about it. But basically what I've done is I've moved I was doing kind of just hype and stablecoin type pools before, but over the last week I've moved everything that I have on here to this Fartcoin hype pool. You can see here that APYs are massive. So yeah, with this I keep a pretty tight range, and I am earning very, very nice let's click on it, I'll show you. Very nice APYs. Well, there you go. I just got in this range not too long ago, so I need to get out and rebalance. But yeah, you can see here, this was probably in range for like maybe 30 minutes. I already made 0.1% there, and then also over 1% just from Gliquid's own token, or their like pre-token basically. So yeah, I'm rebalancing here often, but since it's both, I'm seeing it as kind of like a barbell strategy. You got Fartcoin as the main meme coin, and then you got Hype, which has been a little bit more stable throughout this market pump that we've had over the last couple of weeks. So I feel like it's a good kind of barbell strategy, where you got a solid coin here, and then you got more of a high flying meme coin here. But Fartcoin is, it's large enough now that the swings aren't as crazy as they once were, or hopefully they won't be. So, and I'm able to earn awesome APYs at the same time. So that's what I've done here. That's pretty much everything else on Hyperliquid. I've more or less kept alone. Not much has improved on these because the price of Hype is kind of flat over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, that's what we have there. And then on Solana, not much has changed at all here at all either. It's pretty much just been, the market's been doing well, especially today. Let me show you again high-low. So high-low, I mentioned it a couple times. They just officially started their points program. So you can see here with me, I've had about $1,000 personally in here. For the portfolio, I think I just have allocated 100. 100, but in this account I have 1,000, and you can see here that I'm ranked 225 globally, and I think there's a good amount of people that are already here. They just opened up the platform too. It was in closed beta before. I think anyone can join. I'll put my referral link in the description in case you need it. But yeah, so with just $1,000 over like maybe the past month or so, I've gotten to 225th on the leaderboard. And let's see, where's the leaderboard? Not seeing the leaderboard, but yeah, I assume oh, there we go. There is no leaderboard, but you can see there's 8,700 people. So a pretty nice ranking thus far. If you do want to get involved here, the way that you earn points is just from depositing. You earn the most when you get into X Sol. So like I mentioned before, that's their leverage Sol. You can see here it's 2X leveraged. Sol just had a good pump today. So, you know, unless you're going to hold for at least a month, I'd say maybe wait for some kind of dip since this is leveraged. But otherwise, you know, go for it. Or you can go and these are their stable coins, but you can see that you earn a lot less points for depositing in there. But it does come with a 20% APY on these stable coins, so that is a nice upfront yield that you can get. So really cool to see high-low expanding, and yeah, if you haven't used them, I'd say to check them out. Other than that, on Solana, my main bags have been on HawkFi, which is on top of Meteora. Meteora seems like they're going to be putting out their season 1 points checker anytime now, probably sometime in August. They just announced that season 2 started on July 1st. I mentioned to you before, if you have been using Meteora in season 1, the way that you earn points for the airdrop was one, they gave you, I believe, 1,000 points per day per $1 that you had in TVL. Maybe or $100 in TVL, something like that. Either way, you were getting points for TVL, and then you were also getting points for fees earned. In season 2, you're only getting points for fees earned. And so, yeah, I've shown you my strategy here. Since I was gone, I haven't had as much time to put into monitoring this on a daily basis. So what I've been doing is I have this majority of my funds in this Sol USDC pool. And the way I have it set up is just no stop loss. I just have auto compounding and auto rebalance. And then I just have a tight range. You can see here just right now we're 196. So I have 192 to 198. So like 1 to 2% on each side. And that is earning, well, I'll show you a pretty solid amount. Man, internet is slow today. Sorry, guys. So yeah, you can see I've been adding to this, but like over the past 24 hours with this size of a deposit, I'm earning a couple $100 in fees. So if you don't have as much time, like I haven't had in most recently, I'd say this is probably one of your, and you're looking for exposure to Solana, of course. And this I'd say is one of the better plays because if it loads, it'll show you that, you know, you're making at least 1% on your money per day. Plus, you know, Sol's been pumping a bit, so you're getting that appreciation too at the same time. Okay, there you go. So yeah, you can see with this amount, I've earned, you know, almost $200 in the last 24 hours. So not bad at all. That's about, yeah, a 2% return, a little bit more than that. So very cool. And then at the same time, I have continued